predators don't fear weakness. They fear mistakes, and every killer in the academy agreed on one thing: the human was the real threat. You know what nobody tells you about attending the Galactic Combat Academy? It is not the curriculum that will kill you. It is not even the sparring sessions, though those come close. No, the real danger is forgetting your place in the food chain. Let me explain something. I am Corvin Thrace, a Takari from the hunting moons of Septhus Prime. We have got talons that can punch through starship hull plating, reflexes clocked at 0.03 seconds, and a bite force that registers somewhere between terrifying and absolutely catastrophic. Back home, I was the thing that made other things run fast. Here at the academy, I am solidly middle of the pack. The cafeteria seating arrangement tells you everything you need to know about the pecking order, and I do mean that literally. Front tables belong to the apex crowd, the Kraliks with their acid spit and armored hides, the Vorin, those 8-foot-tall nightmares with 4 arms and neural toxins, the Shrike clan delegates who can see in 17 different spectrums and have never, not once, lost a practice duel. Middle tables. That is where I sit. Respectable predators. Dangerous enough to warrant caution, not dangerous enough to challenge the top tier. We have got the Velthir pack hunters, a couple of Zorn shock troopers, some Makari stealth specialists, good company, lethal company, just not the absolute best. Back tables are for prey species who qualified on technical scores, navigation experts, engineering prodigies, tactical analysts. They are brilliant, do not get me wrong, but they flinch when a Kralix walks past, and everyone knows it. Then there is her, Raina Holt. Human. Species classification unknown to most of us until about 6 weeks ago when she showed up. She sits in the back row, far corner, always alone. Does not sit with the prey species, does not sit with anyone, just takes the same seat every single day, eats her ration pack and watches. And here is the thing that has been crawling under my scales since orientation. Every predator in this room tracks her first, not the Krelix champion who broke the academy grappling record, not the Vorn tactical officer who has 16 confirmed kills, her, the quiet one in the back who has not said 10 words since she arrived. I noticed it during my second week. I walked into the cafeteria, did my automatic threat assessment like every predator does, and my eyes went straight to her table. Not consciously. Instinct. The same instinct that kept my ancestors alive when saber cats prowled the red forests. Watch the dangerous one first. Except she does not look dangerous. She is small by academy standards. Maybe 5'7" in her combat boots. Lean build, not heavily muscled, like the Zarn or armored like the Krelix. Brown hair pulled back in a simple tie. Her species has forward-facing eyes, sure, binocular vision like a predator, but so what? Lots of species have that. She has no claws, no fangs, no venom glands or acid spit or neural toxins, no armored hide or exoskeleton. Her species does not even have a proper coat. For the love of all the hunting moons. They wear fabricated coverings because their own skin cannot handle temperature variation. So why, and I mean why, does every killing machine in this facility track her movements like she is the apex threat? Vex Kalis, a Kralix in my tactical analysis class, brought it up last week. We were running combat simulations, and the instructor had us identify primary threats in a crowd scenario. Vex, who has never been wrong about threat assessment, flagged the human first. The instructor challenged him. Explain your reasoning, Cadet Kalis. Vex clicked his mandibles, a nervous tell I had never seen from him before. Cannot, sir. Instinct says she is dangerous. Logic says she is not. Instinct wins. Half the class nodded. The other half, mostly prey species, looked confused. I have been trying to logic it out for weeks now. Observation tells me she is careful, controlled, always aware of her surroundings. She does not startle, ever. Dropped a tray 3 tables over last Tuesday. Loud metallic crash that made half the room jump. She just glanced over, assessed it was not a threat, and went back to her meal. Reaction time. Faster than mine. Her movement patterns are wrong too. Too smooth. Too efficient. When she walks, there is no wasted energy, no unnecessary motion. It is the way a hunting cat moves. Economic. Precise. But that is not enough to explain why a Vorn shock trooper angles his body defensively when she walks past. Why a Shrike clan fighter watches her with all 3 eyes. Why I, a Takari apex predator from a world where everything wants to kill you, feel my talons flex involuntarily when she enters a room. She sits in the back row, silent, seemingly harmless, And every predator in the Galactic Combat Academy tracks her first. Tomorrow is combat assessment day. We will all be in the arena, including her. I have a feeling we are about to find out why. Zena Krav, a Velthir pack hunter from my combat theory class, decided she was going to solve the mystery. Velthir are social predators, cooperative hunters, and Zena has never met a puzzle she did not want to crack open. I am going to talk to her, Zena announced during morning meal, her crest flaring with determination. Bad idea, I said, stabbing at my protein cube. Why? She is just a student like us. Maybe she is lonely. Maybe she needs pack. I watched Reyna across the cafeteria. She was reading something on a datapad, occasionally taking measured bites of her food. Her posture was relaxed, but her head position allowed peripheral vision of the entire room. Go ahead, report back. Zena crossed the cafeteria with 3 of her packmates, all confidence and friendly energy. I watched the approach. So did a Kralix at the front table. So did 2 Vorn near the beverage dispensers. So did a Shrike clan observer on the upper level. Everyone was watching. Zena reached the table, her translator picking up as she spoke. Mind if we sit? Thought you might want some company. Reyna looked up. Not quickly. Not startled. Just a smooth, controlled shift of attention. Her eyes met Zena's, and I saw my friend's crest flatten involuntarily. I am good, thanks, Reyna said. Her voice was level, calm, with absolutely zero inflection. Not unfriendly. Not friendly either. Just neutral. You sure? We could show you around. Introduce you to people. I know where everything is. Still calm. Still watching. Her hands had not moved from their positions, one holding the datapad, one resting on the table, completely non-threatening. So why did Zena's packmates shift their weight backward? Right, well, if you change your mind. Zena trailed off, her translator catching the awkwardness. I will let you know. Reyna went back to her datapad. Dismissal without rudeness. Conversation over. Zena returned to our table looking unsettled. That was weird. Told you. No, I mean really weird. She did not blink the entire time. Just watched me. All of us. Like she was calculating angles or something. Zena's claws tapped against the table surface. Her heartbeat was 60 beats per minute. Resting rate. Ours were all elevated. She knew we were predators, standing over her, and her heart rate did not change at all. One of her packmates, Drell, added his observation. Did you see her hands? They never tensed. She was completely ready to move, but completely relaxed. That should not be possible. I had noticed something else. When you approached, she clocked every one of you before you spoke, glanced up for maybe half a second, assessed the threat level, went back to reading. She knew exactly where each of you stood without looking again. Prey species freeze or flee, Zena said quietly. Predators assess and engage. She assessed, determined you were not worth engaging, and dismissed you. Maybe she is part predator species, Drell suggested. Hybrid genetics? I pulled up her academy file on my datapad. Public information only, but enough. Human, Earth origin, classified as omnivore, which means they eat both plant and animal matter. Homeworld designation, it just says Class 12 Death World. Everything else is restricted access. Class 12. Zena's crest went flat again. That is the same classification as the Vorn homeworld. As Krolix Prime, we all looked back at Reyna. She had finished her meal, cleaned her area with methodical precision, and was now stretching her neck muscles. The movement was casual, routine, but I noticed her eyes never stopped moving. Scanning, always scanning. A Shrike clan fighter walked past her table, one of the Apex students. He gave her a wide berth. Not obvious, just a subtle angle adjustment that added maybe 2 feet of distance, she noticed. I saw the corner of her mouth twitch, not quite a smile. Something else. She knows, I said. Knows what? That we are all afraid of her. And she finds it funny. Zena looked at me, then back at Reyna. Combat assessments are tomorrow. Yeah, should be educational. Yeah, I repeated, watching the humans stand and leave the cafeteria. Every predator tracked her exit. Educational is one word for it. The arena smells like adrenaline and poor life choices. Combat assessment day is mandatory for all first cycle cadets, which means the observation deck is packed with upper cycle students, instructors, and way too many people with recording devices. The arena floor itself is a 40-meter circle of reinforced composite flooring. Sensor grids built in to monitor vitals and detect excessive force. Excessive force. At the Galactic Combat Academy, the irony is not lost on anyone. Instructor Valf, a grizzled Kralix veteran with scars across his carapace that tell stories I do not want to hear, stands at the center of the arena. His voice booms through the amplification system. Combat assessment evaluates your tactical thinking, physical capability, and threat response under pressure. You will face an opponent of similar weight class. Lethal force is prohibited. Incapacitation is the victory condition. Medical teams are standing by. Comforting. The first match is between two Zarn shock troopers. It lasts about 90 seconds and involves a lot of grappling, electrical discharge, and one very unfortunate headbutt that makes the entire observation deck wince in sympathy. The bigger Zarn wins by chokehold. Second match. A Makari stealth specialist versus a Velthir pack hunter. The Makari has camouflage plating and reflexes fast enough to dodge most strikes, but Velthir hunt in coordinated groups for a reason. Senna, who is watching next to me, provides commentary. See how Kessa is cutting angles, forcing the Makari into predictable movement patterns. 3 more seconds, and there. Leg sweep into submission hold. Textbook. The matches continue. Acralix demolishes a mid-tier opponent with brutal efficiency. Two prey species face off in a technical match that is more about positioning than violence. A Vorn named Thex Morn, one of the Apex tier students, absolutely dismantles his opponent in under 30 seconds using some kind of nerve strike technique that leaves the other cadet twitching on the ground. Showing off. Xena mutters. He is Vorin. They do not show off. That was him being gentle. She does not argue. 15 matches in. I start wondering when Reyna will be called. I scan the waiting area and spot her in the corner doing slow, controlled stretches. Her expression is neutral, almost bored. A Kralix cadet sitting near her keeps glancing over like he wants to say something but keeps deciding against it. Smart Kralix. Next match. Instructor Valth announces, checking his datapad. Corvin Thrace versus Drenvolas. That is me. Wonderful. Drenvolas is a Scaran. Reptilian species. Tough hide. Good reach. Known for endurance fighting. I can take him if I am fast and do not let him get a solid grip. I drop into the arena, run my pre-fight checklist. Talons? Check. Balance? Check. Overwhelming sense of dread? Check. The match starts. Dren comes in aggressive, trying to use his size advantage. I dodge, counter with a talon strike to his ribs. Not deep enough to cause real damage but enough to score points. He grapples. I twist out, rake his shoulder, take a hit to my side that is going to bruise beautifully. We trade blows for maybe 2 minutes before I catch him in an arm lock and force the tap out. Instructor Valth nods. Adequate. Next match. I limp back to the observation deck. Xena hands me a hydration pack. Nice work. You are barely bleeding. Thanks. I feel so accomplished. 3 more matches. Then 5. Then 8. Reyna Holt versus Crane Thex. The observation deck goes quiet. Not completely silent, but the background chatter drops by about 70%. Everyone wants to see this. Crane Thex is not the Vorn who fought earlier. Different species entirely. Crane is Drexian, a heavy world predator species with a reinforced skeletal structure and muscle density that makes them living battering rams. He is maybe 6'4", 260 pounds of compact aggression. His species evolved fighting megafauna in high gravity. Reyna walks onto the arena floor looking like someone heading to a routine medical appointment. No visible nervousness, no aggressive posturing. She is wearing standard academy training gear, no special equipment, no enhancements. She looks tiny next to Crane. This is going to be ugly. Someone behind me whispers. Crane apparently agrees. He does not even take a proper fighting stance. Just stands there with his arms loose, looking vaguely apologetic. Like he is already planning how to win without hurting the small human too badly. Instructor Valth looks between them. Combatants ready. Reyna rolls her shoulders once, tilts her head left, then right. Her hands hang at her sides, relaxed. Ready. Crane nods. Ready, sir. Begin. Crane takes 1 step forward, still not properly engaging, still in that apologetic posture. Reyna does not move. Just stands there, weight balanced, watching him with those forward-facing predator eyes. Come on, cadet, Crane says, his translator catching the patronizing tone. Let us make this a good show, yes? I will go easy, you give it your best effort, everyone learns something. Reyna's expression does not change. Sure. Come at me. Crane shrugs, moves forward with maybe 30% of his actual speed, telegraphing a simple grab attempt that any first-week cadet could dodge. The observation deck holds its collective breath, and Reyna smiles. Not a friendly smile, not a nervous smile. A smile that makes my talons flex involuntarily and my instincts scream that I am watching something very, very dangerous. Decide it is done pretending. Oh no, Xena whispers next to me. Yeah. Oh no is right. Crane's hand reaches for Reyna's shoulder, still moving at that patronizing half speed. Still confident this will be over in seconds. She is not there. Simple sidestep. Minimal movement. Maximum efficiency. Crane's hand closes on empty air and his momentum carries him forward slightly. Not much. Maybe 6 inches. But enough. Reyna moves. I have watched hundreds of combat matches. I have studied predator movement patterns my entire life. What happens next should not be possible for a species without claws, without fangs, without natural weapons. She flows. That is the only word for it. No wasted motion. No hesitation. Just pure economical violence. Her hand strikes Crane's extended elbow. Not hard enough to break it, but precisely angled to hyperextend the joint. He grunts, tries to pull back, and she is already moving to his blind side. Crane spins. Faster now. Realizing he miscalculated, he throws a proper strike full force, the kind that could crack my ribs. Reyna drops under it, sweeps his lead leg, and as he stumbles she drives her palm into his solar plexus with a sharp exhale that echoes through the arena. The Drexian staggers backward, actually wounded. His eyes are wide now. The apologetic posture is gone. Okay, he wheezes. Okay, for real now. Reyna does not respond, just resets her stance, hands up, weight balanced, watching him with absolute focus. Crane comes in hard. He is angry now, embarrassed, and Drexians are dangerous when their pride is hurt. He throws a combination left jab, right cross, knee strike, all at full combat speed. These are not practice hits. These are designed to end the fight. Reyna weaves through them like water flowing around rocks. She does not block, does not try to match strength against strength. She redirects, slips, angles off, and every movement puts her in position for a counter-strike. Elbow to his kidney, knee to his thigh right on the nerve cluster, palm heel to his jaw that snaps his head back. Crane is bleeding from his mouth now. He lunges for a grapple, trying to use his size and strength advantage. If he gets hold of her, it is over. Drexian grip strength is legendary. She lets him grab her. The observation deck gasps. Xena hisses something in her native language that my translator does not catch, but I am pretty sure means "what is she doing?" Crane grins, thinking he has won. His hands close around her upper arms, preparing to throw her or crush her or whatever his plan is. Reyna headbutts him in the nose. Not a wild, desperate move. A calculated strike. Humans have thick skulls, apparently. Reinforced frontal bone structure. Crane's nose breaks with a sound like stepping on dry twigs, and he releases her instinctively, hands going to his face. She does not give him time to recover. Leg sweep. Full force this time, and all 260 pounds of Drexian warrior hits the arena floor hard enough to trigger the impact sensors. She follows him down, gets behind him, locks in a chokehold that looks simple but has his carotid artery compressed in under 2 seconds. Crane struggles. He is stronger than her, has better leverage, should be able to break free. He thrashes, tries to roll, tries to pry her arm away. Nothing works. Her technique is perfect. Her position is unbreakable. 10 seconds later, Crane taps out. Reyna releases immediately, rolls away, stands up smoothly. She offers Crane a hand. He stares at it for a moment, still processing what just happened, then takes it. She pulls him to his feet like he weighs nothing. Adrenaline strength, probably, but still impressive. Good match, she says, her tone completely sincere. Crane touches his broken nose, winces. Yeah, good match. He looks at Instructor Valth. Sir, I would like to formally request remedial training in threat assessment. A few nervous laughs ripple through the observation deck. Valth's mandibles click in what might be amusement. Request noted. Medical team, attend to Cadet Thex. Cadet Holt, return to observation. Reyna walks off the arena floor like nothing happened. No celebration, no acknowledgement of the stunned silence following her. She just heads back to her corner and starts her cool-down stretches. I cannot stop staring. My analytical brain is trying to process what I just witnessed. She fought like a persistence predator, Xena says quietly. Her crest is fully flattened, a sign of serious unease. Did you see? She did not try to overpower him. She waited, let him exhaust himself. Every strike was precise. Minimal energy expenditure, maximum efficiency. Her reaction time was faster than his, I add. Still watching Reyna stretch. And he is Drexian. They have neural pathways optimized for combat reflexes. Drell leans in, keeping his voice low. Anyone else notice she was reading his micro-expressions? She dodged strikes before he fully committed to them. Predictive movement based on facial tells and body language. A Kralix cadet in front of us turns around, Her endurance capacity is abnormal. She did not breathe hard once. Full combat engagement and her respiratory rate barely elevated. Someone pulls up a datapad, starts running searches, checking human species classification. Okay, bipedal mammal, no natural armor, no venom, no claws. But look at this. Homeworld gravity is 0.98 standard, so not a heavy world advance, but environmental classification is class 12 death world. Predator saturation is listed as extreme, megafauna presence confirmed, extreme temperature variation, volatile weather patterns, disease load off the charts. What does that mean? Another voice asks. I know what it means. I have studied evolutionary biology. It means humans did not evolve to be the biggest or strongest or fastest. They evolved to outlast everything else. Persistence hunters. They chase prey until it collapses from exhaustion. They heal from injuries that would kill other species. They adapt to environments that should be uninhabitable, and they developed pack hunting tactics. Xena adds, her professional interest overriding her unease. Coordinated attacks, tool use, strategic thinking. She fought Crane like he was megafauna, avoided direct confrontation, struck weak points, waited for openings, finished when he was vulnerable. The next match is called, but nobody is paying attention. Everyone is watching Reyna, trying to reconcile the small, quiet human with what we just witnessed. She sits down, drinks some water, checks her knuckles for damage, finds a small scrape, wipes it clean, moves on, completely calm. Her heartbeat, according to the arena sensors still tracking her, is 70 beats per minute. Resting rate, like she just took a casual walk. A Vorin instructor leans over to Valth, says something I cannot hear. Valth's mandibles click again, louder this time. He looks at Reyna, then at his datapad, then back at Reyna. Well, he announces to the arena. That was educational. Educational. Sure. If your definition of educational includes realizing you have been sharing a facility with an apex predator from a death world and nobody thought to mention it. The quiet human in the back row just redefined the Academy's threat assessment protocols, and she did it in under 3 minutes. The Academy library gets more traffic in the next 2 hours than it has seen all semester. Everyone wants answers. What the hell is a human? Where did they come from? And why did nobody warn us that we were attending classes with something that could dismantle a Drexian heavy worlder like he was a training dummy? I am shoulder to shoulder with Xena, Drell and about 15 other cadets, all of us crowding around data terminals and pulling up every file we can access about Earth and its inhabitants. What we find is nightmare fuel. Okay. So Earth. Xena reads aloud from her screen. Oxygen-rich atmosphere 21%, highly flammable. Surface temperature variation ranges from -89 degrees to +56 degrees Celsius, contains multiple climate zones including frozen wastelands, burning deserts and something called tropical rainforests where it rains every single day and everything is trying to kill you. That is just the environment. Drell adds, scrolling through another file. Look at the predator list. Ambush hunters that weigh 600 pounds and can crush skulls with their bite force. Pack hunters that chase prey for days without stopping. Reptilian predators that have not evolved in millions of years because they are already perfect killing machines. Oceanic predators with 300 teeth arranged in multiple rows. A Makari cadet looks up from his terminal, his camouflage plating flickering with distress. It says here that humans are the apex species not because they are the strongest or fastest but because they hunted everything else to extinction or submission. They domesticated wolves. They took pack hunters and turned them into pets. They do not have venom but they invented chemical weapons. Someone else calls out. They do not have claws but they developed metallurgy specifically to make better stabbing implements. They do not have armored hides but they created flexible body armor that can stop projectile weapons. I find a file on human evolutionary advantages and my blood goes cold. Listen to this. Humans evolved as persistence hunters on the African savanna. They would identify prey, usually something faster and stronger than them, and just chase it, for hours, sometimes days. Their prey would run until its body overheated and shut down. Humans can regulate body temperature through liquid secretion across their entire skin surface. They can run in heat that would kill most predators. Endurance metabolism. Xena breathes, reading over my shoulder. Their cellular respiration is optimized for sustained activity. They can function on minimal rest. They heal from injuries at accelerated rates. They have been documented surviving blood loss that would be fatal to most species. A Kralix cadet finds something else. Cognitive advantages, pattern recognition, strategic planning, abstract thinking. They developed language, complex social structures, and cooperative hunting techniques. Then they developed writing, mathematics, engineering. They went from stone tools to spaceflight in 10,000 years. 10,000? Someone else sounds incredulous. Most species take 100,000 years minimum to achieve spaceflight capability. It gets worse, I say. Finding another file. Pain tolerance. Humans have pain receptors like everyone else, but they can consciously override pain responses through mental conditioning. Documented cases of humans fighting with broken bones, continuing combat after losing limbs, functioning through injuries that should cause immediate incapacitation. The library has gone quiet except for the sound of data terminals humming and cadets reading in horrified fascination. She was not trying, Xena says suddenly. We all look at her. Reyna, in the arena. She was not trying, that was her being careful. Being gentle. I think about the way Reyna moved. The efficiency, the precision, the absolute control. Xena is right. That was not a human fighting at full capacity. That was a human making sure she did not accidentally kill a classmate during a training exercise. Class 12 Death World, Drell mutters. Same classification as the Vorn homeworld. But Vorn evolved heavy armor and toxins to survive. Humans evolved intelligence, endurance, and the ability to make everything else extinct. I close my data terminal. I have seen enough. So what do we do with this information? A Velthir cadet asks. I think about Reyna sitting in the back row, silent and watchful, while every predator in the room tracks her first. We remember why our instincts were screaming, I say. And we'd be very, very glad she is on our side. 3 weeks after combat assessments, the cafeteria looks exactly the same. Front tables still belong to the apex predators. Kralix, Varon, Shrike clan. Middle tables still host the respectable mid-tier hunters. Back tables still accommodate the technical specialists and prey species graduates. But something fundamental has shifted. Reyna still sits in the back corner. Same seat, same routine. Still quiet, still watchful, still alone, because she chooses to be, not because anyone is avoiding her. The difference is in how we move around her. The Kralix champion who broke the grappling record. He nods to her now when he walks past. Respectful acknowledgement between apex predators. The Vorn tactical officer gives her space, not out of fear exactly, but professional courtesy. Even the Shrike clan delegates, who never acknowledge anyone below their tier, tracked her progress during the last team combat drill with something approaching interest. Crane Thex, the Drexian she dismantled in the arena, sits 2 tables away from her now, close enough to be in her orbit, far enough to not intrude. His broken nose healed crooked. He refuses corrective surgery. Says it reminds him not to underestimate opponents based on size. Smart Drexian. Xena asked her to join our study group last week. Reyna declined politely, said she works better alone, but she also helped Xena with a tactical problem afterward. Spent 20 minutes breaking down approach vectors and weak point identification. Xena's pack has not shut up about it since. I still do my automatic threat assessment when I enter the cafeteria. My eyes still go to her first, tracking the Death World predator in the back row. The difference is now I know why. She is not trying to intimidate anyone, not trying to dominate the social hierarchy. She is just existing, being exactly what evolution made her, a persistence hunter from Earth, patient, efficient, apex, and every predator in the Galactic Combat Academy knows it.